Hello everyone, it's Cribbin E. Welcome to the channel. Hope everybody just having a wonderful day and everything is going great and that you are in the best of health. Today I'm coming with another inspirational message, and this is very been on my heart for a while. And wow, I don't even know how to title this, but I'm gonna title it as Jesus will always be the cure for domestic violence. Jesus will always be the cure for domestic violence. Let me read a quick Bible verse right quick. Matthew 24th chapter. And starting at the 6th verse. And it reads, "And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars, and see that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass. But the end is not yet." And it says, "For nation shall rise against nation, kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilence." Is what we're experiencing now in this COVID-19. Famines and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places. But all these are the beginning of sorrow. This is just the beginning. The 9th verse says, "Then men shall deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you, and you shall be hated." Okay, you shall be hated, and we can always feel the hate because I know I do. So then they shall deliver you up, and you shall be afflicted, and shall kill you, and you shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. And the 10th verse says, "And then shall many be offended, and shall betray one another, and shall hate one another." I hope you got that part, because that's what I want to deal with. Betraying one another and hating one another. And one thing I found out about this life and this world that we live in, that you don't need a master's degree to hate nobody. You don't even need a high school diploma to hate nobody. The hate just comes. And you'd be surprised how awesome, beautiful relationships can quickly turn into hate like you never thought in your life. I've experienced it before in a marriage, and some of you have experienced it before in relationships and in marriages before. I reached out to some of the people that's on the channel. You guys talk to me, and I keep all your information confidential. I will never use your name on the channel. You can talk to me whenever you feel free. Okay, that's what I'm here for. That's what this channel also is all about. It's about helping people, and that's what the legacy I want to leave this earth one day. It's helping people and reaching out and being blessed to as many people as I can. So, I want to talk about domestic violence quickly. And wow, domestic violence in America right now is at an all-time high because of COVID-19. This shutdown can be a death sentence for many families, and it has been. This crisis, the crisis lifeline is ringing off the hook. It's constantly ringing 24/7 since the lockdown. Domestic homicide is at an all-time high. And I just read for you how people will begin to turn on one another. That means your brothers, your sisters, your daughters, your husbands, your wives, everybody will be involved with this madness, as the Bible has said. Okay, so domestic homicide is at an all-time high. Being in an abusive relationship, listen at this, being in an abusive relationship has turned deadly all over the world. It ain't just in the Matrix, but this is all over the world, from Canada to the UK, to China, to Japan, to Oman, to Iraq, Iran. It's all over the world. It's just not the US. It's all over the world. It's the stress of the pressure of your bills, the bills. The bills can keep you up all night, because I've been there, I lived there, and that's why I made that move, and I'm living in the Dominican Republic right now. That's one of the reasons. Bills, rent, or your mortgage, or your car payments, all this can be very, very stressful in this COVID-19 lockdown season. I had one of my subscribers again reach out to me from Maryland, and it's ridiculous the prices you pay on these places. He's got a place and it's $2,200, no parking space. He's got to find a place to park at night, but his rent is $2,200. That is extremely ridiculous. So it's just the pressure now that people are beginning to feel pressure in the COVID-19 season as never before. Kids are out of school, so they are in trouble also. The kids are in trouble also too. Not just the couple, the parents, but the kids are in trouble because no telling what's going to happen to them when they're on a domestic violence home. I lived that story, and I'll get to that shortly. So the kids are in trouble also. Complete isolation just compounds the problem because you're on lockdown, can't go nowhere, can't reach out for help. Some people think they can't, but you can. Many don't reach out for help before it's too late. The police have received many calls, and churches have received lots of calls from the members from their churches. Are you listening to me? People sometimes in the church got more problems than the people outside the church. I'm reminded some years ago that I was a minister, and I had no idea this was going on in his home. But him and his wife got into a big fight Sunday morning before they came to church. He slapped her around, knocked her down, kicked her down, punched her. And that same minister came to church, jumping up and down, shouting like he did nothing to his wife. But his wife was bruised up, and sometimes, the women put glasses on and try to hide the bruises, with makeup on and try to hide the scars. But I can't believe this guy had the audacity and nerve to get up and jump down and shout and praising God, and he done went upside his wife's head before she came to church. That is ridiculous. So we got a lot of problems in the church, a bunch of them. Men's wages has been cut. So when the brother's pay is cut, that works on your nerves. So they bring their anger home. These men and women bring their anger home to the families. I suggest that the women reach out for help ASAP if you're in a domestic violence in your home. The world is deeply troubled about the domestic violence, domestic abuse spike. Romantic relationships has hit the rocks during this pandemic season. And it ain't just the heterosexual relationships. It's the homosexual relationships as well. Couples that are married, beating each other up, almost killing each other. Okay, all this violence, brother against brother, sister against brother, everybody just killing each other because of this epidemic. So we see now COVID-19 just didn't bring a sickness to our land. It brought violence as well. Because sometimes in life, one thing leads to another. So this pandemic season, this type of behavior also is listed in the Bible. And I just listed that for you and told you how folks was going to turn against one another. Brother against sister, sister against brother, mother against daughter, daughter against father, all these things, etc. Also, we have sexual abuse that's going on in these homes. And these daughters are being raped by family members. Sometimes stepfathers and fathers are raping these young girls. Please remember that there are always help lines, always. It's horrible when the home is no longer a safe place to live. I'm a man who grew up in a home of domestic violence until I ran away from home, and I ran away twice. The first time I ran away, I lived in New Jersey. I ran away, went to Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. went to a youth study center. So I stayed there for a while, and they finally transported me back to New Jersey to face the music of my family. Stayed there for a while, took a couple whippings for running away. Shortly after that, maybe a month went by, I ran away again. This time I ran away, I went to the train station, Penn Station train station, New Jersey, got on the train, and was a stowaway. And I stayed on a stowaway, and I kept hiding from the conductor, because every time I see him checking tickets, I know I ain't had one. So I would hide from him. He was my biggest problem. If I could hide from him my whole trip, I was fine. So the train, I didn't know the train was going that far. The next morning when I woke up, took me a nap in my little hiding department. I woke up in the morning, I was in Miami, Florida, Dade County. So I turned myself in, it took me, back to, the police station, and found out I was a runaway, all these kind of things. So they put me back on a plane, and they flew me back to New Jersey. This time they put me in a foster home. I ran away from the foster home, and ended up they put me to the YMCA until I stayed there until I graduated from high school, because I could never get out of my mind the terrible childhood that I seen what my father did to my mother. So when kids grow up in this type of environment, they're going to need therapy. You just can't just get a rag and wipe their face with soap and water and saying it's going to be okay, because it's not. It can do some detrimental things. So glad that I grew up and had another family, never abused my kids, always try to raise them right. And the family that I'm with now, always respect my kids, because it happened to you, it doesn't mean you have to do it to someone else. Okay, so this pandemic is a terrible thing. When I say terrible, I mean completely terrible. But my escape from my domestic home made me a better man and a better person. But my prayers are today is with the families that are dealing with this ungodly conduct, that you will seek some help. Don't keep letting that man hit you and kick you into the wall and beat your brains out and give you a black eye, or vice versa. Call this number here, and I'm giving you a number to call, 1-800-799-7233. Not only am I trying to get you some help, encourage you, but I want to get you some help too as well. If you need to call this number, it's 1-800-799-7233. And hopefully, one day you will not be in that relationship, but you can find yourself in a loving relationship. You can find someone that's going to really, really love you and respect you for who you are. Remember, just take it not strange concerning your fiery trials, because all this is in the Bible, and we're living in the last days, and these things are happening, earthquakes in dire places, and people are turning on one another, stabbing each other in the back like never before. So you got to keep your eyes open and watch everything. And again, just because you are in an abusive relationship, that doesn't mean you got to stay there. There is hope. There is an escape. This number that I just gave you, call that number and get you some help. If you got to leave, you leave, COVID or no COVID. If you got to find yourself into a shelter, get yourself into a shelter, get your kid into a shelter, and get somewhere safe, okay? Because either that's going to happen, or you might find yourself in the graveyard. And I hate to say that, but some domestic violences have turned out to be that way. Some men kill their wives, bury them in a shallow grave, but it all comes to light, and they end up spending the rest of their lives in jail, and the kids end up being separated anyway. Okay? So I just wanted to share that with you. Domestic violence is a very, very serious thing. Do something about it. I'm praying for you. I'm praying for your situation, that if you are in a situation like that things will get better, and you'll love one another. Nobody's got to be killing each other, because God is love, and love is of God. So, in the meantime, between time, always remember life to be enjoyed. Hit that subscription and notification. And guess what? We'll see you on the next video. God bless you, and may God keep you safe. Peace.